presentation will be from two parts. One part is mine, which is more theoretical, and then I will give a word to my colleague Stefania, and she will tell us more about practical things. So my theme is Fluxus Labas, a network of community facilitators in Kaunas. So as I think most of you know that in 2022, Kaunas will become a European capital of culture. And we have seven general platforms, and one of them is community platform with the people. And the main tool of this platform is Fluxus Labas community laboratories. Labas means hello in Lithuanian. And Fluxus Labas is equal for community facilitators network. Or we call them Fluxus agents, but that word agent is not so sometimes good. So we call them community facilitators. Our program main methods is collaboration, volunteering, and co-creation. We have a huge philosophy about everything what we do. It would took about 2 hours to tell everything, but in general everything could be fit in these 4 words, which is our vision. So it is inclusivity and diversity. So what we do, we recognize every culture which is in Kaunas and in Kaunas district. In Kaunas, every neighborhood has a culture, and in every neighborhood, every group of people has their culture. So we recognize them, and we want to network them. So this is the connectivity, is another word. So we try to make connections and network of everything what we do. So we want to be to have a good relations with every businesses, NGOs, groups, community centers which are in the specific area in the neighborhood. And the final is entrepreneurialism, which means that we try to find opportunities in the community to express in different ways their culture, or to find opportunities for social business or social enterprises also, but also cultural and artistic way to express their own culture which they have in their community. How we do that? So we have this network. We invite people. We have an open call. Then people reaches us, and then we have a interview with them. And what we do, we are trying to find people who has the highest motivation to work with other people, who wants to be a part of community. And it doesn't mean that they had previous experience working with community. Some of our people don't have such experience, but we ask them, do they have any experience working with people, in a group of people, because we don't want individualists. We want people who can share their idea and can hear others sharing their idea and to collaborate somehow. So after that we have a training course, so it's from 3 parts: raising the raising of research question, purifying the question, and planning, purifying the issue. But I will show you a logical scheme of activity planning. These guys are from Fluxus Labas, and they're now laughing. So sorry it's in Lithuania, but I will tell you quickly what it is. So this is the Fluxus agent community facilitator. And when he starts his journey, he doesn't know anything about its community, or has little knowledge about it, or has a bit more knowledge. But still, when he comes working with community, he tries to research the context and to know the context of the neighborhood. So he knows the context of the neighborhood. He makes a research. He makes the description of current situation and the main question. So he knows nothing or little, and then he makes a research, and it's a lot of things. So it's quite broad thing, and then he tries to narrow down to one issue. And the main question in this diamond is what themes or topics gives energy for change. So mainly what he tries to answer this question, and who works there, Fluxus agent or community facilitator, and people who are interested in this idea, who were interviewed, who were talked in every gathering. So in the first phase of the courses, we talk a lot about research methods and a lot of good experiences in Lithuania and abroad. So they learn how to make a research. We do a lot of anthropology and participant observation, semi-structured interviews and so on. So they do this. Then they have their issue, and they try they start another journey. So they know a little about that issue, and they start to research again. So they have a lot of, and then they trying to narrow down to one question, one right question, how to solve it. So what they do here, they thinking about the changes, what they need. They thinking about the goals, and they are trying to imagine what would be after the project, what is the vision of it, and they are trying to answer the question, what goals will bring people together for action, and who's involved, is Fluxus agent and the community, or broader community as a neighborhood, who is interested in that particular change to happen. So they have a question, so what next? So then again, they have little, and they start to think, what can they do about it? So a lot of ideas, a lot of things. So we're thinking how to seek that goal. So they're thinking about the project idea and about the action plan. And then they are narrowing down, and then they have a plan and action. And that's beautiful things happened. And after that, they have the final stage. So it is a self-assessment of reflection with the community. So they are thinking what was there, who they was the change, does the change happen or not? What they learned from all this experience which happened, and where we are going to do with all this information. Again, what is the next step? Do we have to work more with that issue, or is it okay, now we solve this issue and we can move on and to do something more bigger, or I don't know, and to take other things. And who's working there? So the team, here's the team, and here's the team, so who's doing all this stuff. So this is the main plan, how we trying to work. This is another, I love him. So it's the issue, local context. It's the same what was in that other slide, in a different way. So local context, creative process, which they through which they do their project, and of course Kaunas 2022 program, because we try to integrate other 6 programs into their activities. If they are working with youth, or they are working with their memory, because we have such programs, memory and youth programs, so it has to be combined. Yeah, and this is the network of our agents. And now Stefania will take too long.
The microphone. So as you see, this is the plan of the 2019. We have at the moment 13 people. 8 of them are currently here, so you can meet them, so they are starting their new journey. And talking about the examples, what happened during the last year, summarizing them up. Last year we had 8 people. I was one of the agents. So we call them festivals of initiatives, because what the agents do, they gather the knowledge of the neighborhood, of the actions of the communities which are already working the place. And what they try to do, they are not trying to create the new thing. They are trying to create something what's going to bring the continuity to the neighborhood. So it happened that last year we had all kind of forms of these festivals. In one neighborhood, it was a private garden who invited cultural institutions of the neighborhood, and they all just celebrated being together and knowing each other and being all in one place. In another case, it was the creativity day when people gathered, and the main line was creating the mosaic of the neighborhood. So everybody were in the workshop doing something with their hands, but in the meantime talking what the neighborhood means for them. What do they need to create? And one of the agents, Raimonda, is now here. They are still creating the mosaic, but during the workshops appeared one person who wants to do urban gardens. So now she's kind of pushing the person and helping for him to create his garden. And the important thing that agent is not, it's kind of a bridge. So they see the possibility, they help a person, and then they let go. The most important thing is not to be themselves as the superstar of the neighborhood, but the most important thing is to find the little stars who can, shine after 5 years, and to help them to raise up the new ideas. In another neighborhood, it was the cyclist festival, because it was found that there are a lot of people who love bicycles and they love doing the things. So in this way, they walking up the park. They all gathered in there. Again, all institutions, people, local business met in there, and did small festives in there. And it was the main line to ride the bicycle and just to enjoy being together. Another place was Vilijampolė. It's kind of old and stereotypical bad neighborhood to live. So we did a small celebration inviting the university people, the guy who does excursions, and just to show that we are doing a lot of things in one place. So it's kind of the spot where we meet and we do again. Like Greta showed the scheme. So we went like this. We came to one spot, we talked together, and now we are spreading again. And the really nice thing which came up after these festivals in 2 neighborhoods at the moment, we have this issue that we don't have physical places where to meet. Usually it's libraries or something like that where we are meeting, but it's not our place. And at the moment, Lidl is giving a house, all the house for the community to use. In another place in Vilijampolė, there is a small garage which the private owner said that you can take it and use it for the creative use because they saw there is a need. So that's why I want to highlight that really important thing, and this is community involvement, is helping for their ideas to grow. It's not to grow your own idea. So, for example, this is another festival which happened last year. It was in Šileinin, and it was a lot of different parts. It was the creative workshops, it was the marathon, but people organized it by themselves because they said they want to do that. So they organized and then they participated. So it's a really nice example how it can happen very, very locally. The creativity exposure, so most of our agents, especially this year, are trying to find the creative line of the things they're doing. For example, we have the clay workshops. At the moment we are having, I'm looking through the eyes, we have one person who works in one neighborhood, they have no spaces, but she's doing activities in 3 different physical places because there's people who want to do things, so she keeps continuing doing different kind of workshops for people to meet in different places like school, library, and all little place. Yeah. And understanding the needs is really important for us as well, because only from the needs we know what to do. So in the very beginning we can have one idea, as Greta showed, but then these agents have to be so flexible that they can change their own idea to take what people actually need, to change the way how we act, and then use the tools which are going to be useful for the people. So we can see that sometimes it can be the courtyard festival, like they bring the table, they drink tea, they talk, they see angry people, happy people, and then they see what actually connects all these people, because usually it's the place where they live. So our key sentence is that we are the people, we are Fluxus Labas, and only knowing people who are around us can bring the joy and happiness and the new creation spots in the place.